Hi, my name is Joseph O'Brien, so I am your AC liaison for this school year. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I look forward to seeing you all in our classroom visits. So just a little background on myself. I received my bachelor's and master's in chemistry from the University of Scranton in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I worked as a bench chemist, a benched organic chemist at Rutgers Organics in State College, Pennsylvania, and I did that for 17 years. And after the business shut down, I went back and I received my PA teaching certificate in chemistry through Penn State. I taught high school chemistry for 2 years at Altoona High School, and then I moved into college teaching. So I've taught at a number of different colleges, but the last 5 years I was teaching for Lock Haven University, and I taught a number of different chemistry classes for them. So the two main parts of my duties I have are, number one, to do this college provided professional development video, and secondly is complete the site visit. So I want to talk about the site visit. For this year, all the ACE faculty are teaching the Chem 106 equivalent. So my main focus of the visit is to ensure that you are teaching the class academically equivalent to what we have on our campus. So how do I approach my Chem 106 class? So it is an introductory class, and many of my students are looking to go into the healthcare field, primarily nursing. A few are looking to go into a science major and are taking this class to improve their background in chemistry. So I approach it like it is an honors level chemistry course in high school. And when I go to do my assessment in the course, I assess I do 4 things. I do homework, quizzes, exams, and labs. So grades from all those go into the overall course grade. So the thing I do a little bit different is with the homework and quizzes. I use the book's publisher's online course management system. This allows me to give online homework and quizzes. The students also have access into an ebook for the course. Many times I've seen in the past for students, they won't spend the money for a book. So if you try to assign problems or point them to something in the book, they don't have a book. So this way I know they have access to at least an ebook. I've moved to online homework primarily so students can have instant feedback. The students get feedback for wrong answers, and then they have the ability to correct themselves. With this setup, students are rewarded for the time they put in, and they're also allowed 2 attempts. So what I've seen in the past is that they could typically improve their scores if they want to put that extra effort into it. There's typically no time constraint when they start a homework attempt. I also do online quizzes, only I set them up a little differently. Again, this allows students some instant feedback. The way I set it up for the online quizzes is students still will get 2 attempts to do a quiz, but they have some constraints. First of all, there's typically a time limit, and that's usually 30 to 60 minutes, kind of depends if there's going to be a lot of calculations or not. Also, after the first attempt, students can see what they get wrong, but they don't get any feedback on why they got it wrong. So it's up to them to go in, try and figure out what they got wrong, so they could, when they go to do their second attempt, they're going to have a better understanding and hopefully get it correct. So this way they get a chance to self-correct themselves and hopefully improve at the same time. As far as my exams, I do I guess what you want to call is the old-fashioned way. So I do paper exams in class. The one thing I do might be a little different is, again, I'm not big on having to memorize equations or tables of material. So I provide that. My goal is for them to be able to understand how to use those. So for example, for solubility rules, I'll let them have the table of solubility, and I'm more interested in giving them a compound and them being able to analyze whether it's going to be soluble or not. I'm also careful to test one concept at a time. So for example, if I want them to calculate a molar mass, I'll give them the formula of the chemical I want them to calculate instead of having to give them the chemical name and then having to write the formula out, because if they get the formula wrong, then they're obviously going to get the molar mass incorrect. One of the other things I do on exams is I like to give partial credit on calculations. So for example, if they're doing a gram-to-gram stoich problem, I look that the setup is correct, and maybe the numerical part of their answer is wrong, so maybe they just inputted it wrong in the calculator. So again, I'm more interested in the overall setup than the final numerical answer. So always looking for the correct unit. Our lab reports here. So when I was at the previous colleges, like at Lock Haven and some of the other colleges I taught at, general chemistry labs and intro chemistry labs typically didn't do full lab reports. The old header, title, purpose, procedure, observations. Typically it was, some data collecting and data analysis. And so that's what I focus on in the labs. I go through, or I look at the data they've collected, and again, I like to use the lab as, again, more instructional time. So seeing that they're doing calculations incorrectly, working with them to get them to do them correctly. So use that lab time as some more instructional. Again, in the college classes here, it's hard to get a lot of one-on-one time, so the lab is a good place to do that. And again, typically what I've seen at the college ranks is once the students get into an organic chemistry class, that's where they start doing a more full lab report write-up. Finally, we'll have to do a common assessment, so I'll contact you probably here shortly to let you know what I'll be assessing in my classroom, and then that's what you'll have to assess in your classroom with your students. And you'll have to provide me with that data and some samples of their students' work. I want to thank you for watching this video. I look forward to meeting up with you on our classroom visits, so as we get those scheduled. You have my email. I've contacted the ACE faculty. So again, I want to thank you for being an ACE faculty member. Again, if you need to contact me, you can get me at jobrien@pennhighlands.edu. Thank you for your time.